For this project, we have the Lewis structure. There are 5 simple steps to follow. The first is sum the valence electrons from all the atoms. In our example, we're going to use sulfate, and we take sulfur, which has 6 valence electrons, and oxygen, which also has 6. And there's 4 oxygens, so we're going to multiply that by 4. And then there's also a -2 charge on it, so we're going to add that to the total number of valence electrons. Then we're going to write the symbols for the atoms and show which atoms are attached to which and connect them with a single bond. So we connect to the sulfur 4 oxygens, and then we're going to complete the octets around all of the atoms that are bonded to the central atom, which is sulfur. So an octet is 8 valence electrons in the shell. So each of these lines will count as 2. The bonds, they count as 2. And we're going to put pairs of electrons around that to complete the octets. So we go around, and once we have the bonds, each of those, as I said, count as 2. We're going to subtract that from the total number of valence electrons, and that'll tell us how many we have left to complete the octets. So in this case, we had an even number. We didn't have any that are left over. If you do have some that are left over, we would just put that on the central atom. And it says that if there are not enough electrons to give the central atom an octet, try multiple bonds. So in this case, we didn't have enough to make the central octet, so we had to add 2 double bonds on each side. We take one of the pairs of valence electrons and just turn that into a double bond. We did that for 2 sides, and then we did the formal charge for all of them, which are in parentheses around each one. And since there was a -2 charge, we have to put that in parentheses around the entire structure to show that it did have a negative charge. So this is what the Lewis structure for sulfate would look like. There's different ways to write it. This is the way that I chose to write it. So that's how you do it.